Okay, winter has arrived in Colorado. We are headed to a job site today, installing 3 Powerwalls for a client who is racing to hit the rebate deadline. All of his stuff arrived yesterday evening, and if we don't have it installed by Monday, he will miss out on a $1,500 rebate. So we are working in the snow. Okay, so today we are going to be installing 3 Tesla Powerwalls. This is Bobby. I'm Ralph. We're both electricians here in Colorado, and let me show you the job site here real quick. So this is a customer who has existing solar on their home, and they want to hook up batteries. So based on the loads that they want to power with the Powerwalls, we have landed on 3 Powerwalls, and we're going to be installing a backup switch on their meter over here. And what that's going to do is back up all of the loads that are downstream of the meter. So yeah, this is kind of our staging area here, and I will show you what we're doing once we get boxes opened and we start to mount devices and land wire. Okay, hello internet. So the very first step here, we are using a Powerwall stack kit because we want to stack all 3 Powerwalls, one in front of the next. It'll give it a nicer look when it's done. So the very first step of the instruction manual says that the center line for our bolts needs to be 11.5 inches above ground. In the installation manual for the stack kit, it says that the center line for your bottom anchors are 11.5 inches above ground. That was wrong. We ended up at 9.5 inches above the ground in order to have the Powerwall sitting flush with the surface. If you follow the installation guide and put your mounting bolts 11.5 inches above ground, your whole system will be suspended and hanging from your anchors, which is a violation of the installation manual. It says do not do that. You do not want to have, in our case, we're going to have 3 Powerwalls, 750 pounds suspended from the ground and hanging on your anchor supports. Okay, so now that we have the Powerwall mounted and in place, we're installing the stack kit. So there's a wiring compartment over on this side, and they give us a guide. And this is like a template to make sure that we are putting what's going to be a chase nipple exactly where it needs to be. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this hole. And by the way, I should have my safety glasses on. It's never smart to drill through metal without safety glasses. So. Okay, now we are back with proper PPE. This is an 1 3/8 hole saw bit, and now we are going to pop a hole for our chase nipple. All right. Last step, I'm going to go ahead and file that to smooth out all the edges. This part went smooth, so if we look in here, you see there's a chase nipple here, bushing on each side, and we'll be wiring soon. Okay, so we have all 3 Tesla Powerwall batteries securely mounted. Everything is looking nice and clean. There were no issues at all. Most houses have their concrete sloping away from them to help water run off away from the foundation. And Tesla's solution, they ship shims with their kit. We use the shims, and yeah, everything is perfectly level. You can see our level there. That's perfect. So last step here, well, not last step, but next thing we're going to do is pipe in our home run from the Powerwall over the gateway on the other side of the fence. So I will check back in with you once that's complete. All right, so this is the gateway. We are mounting this adjacent to the main panel. eventually what's going to happen is there's a 125 amp breaker that's going to feed the supply lugs inside of this gateway. And I will show you guys that momentarily. But yeah, we are snugged up and level. Gonna get an air duster and clean that out, and then next we're gonna start piping, and then we're gonna pull wire and show you guys how to hook this up. So okay, so next step here in connecting this Powerwall system, we have to get power from the main panel into the gateway. I just killed the main breaker. There is no power downstream of the meter right now. I am verifying that with a clamp-on ammeter, and you can see there is nothing. No power here. Now, if I wanted to, I could also grab my voltage prongs and test the voltage. I'm not going to do that. This is not that type of a video. This is more just how to get your Powerwall working, where to land the wires in the various Tesla components, the gateway and the Powerwalls. So the next thing we're going to do here is knock out 1-inch conduit hole, and yeah, be back in a moment. Okay, so I am getting ready to close up these boxes on the 3 Powerwalls here, and before I do so, we are just documenting and showing the proper way to connect a 3 Powerwall system. These right here, this is our AC power coming in from the home run, goes over to the Powerwall. We've also got 4-wire low volt, not low volt, but 4-wire communication cable in here. Now that communication cable is a shielded twisted pair, and you'll notice that down there we have the drain wire landed on the ground, and that's the same way across all of these. Okay, the 4-wire is landed, it's hard to see here, but it's landed in on the first Powerwall. I'm trying to get the camera to focus. There we go. In. Okay, that's the first Powerwall. In is your wire from the gateway. Then out, which is what we're about to plug in, goes out into the second Powerwall, out of the second Powerwall, into the third Powerwall, and then the out port is terminated with a resistor. Okay. Last thing that we're double checking here, you'll notice that the wiring color needs to stay the same throughout the Powerwalls. So we've got brown on the 12 volt, white on the ground, blue on CN plus, yellow on CN minus. I now am in my sleep saying brown, white, blue, yellow. So when I look at the next Powerwall, they should all be brown, white, blue, yellow. Brown, white, blue, yellow. Brown, white, blue, yellow. We should not have any issues when it comes time to commission. So we're going to close these up and land all the wires in the gateway, which is over on the other side of the fence. Okay, we're headed back to the job site. We couldn't finish up yesterday, largely due to the cold weather. And we're headed back. 25 degrees. Okay guys, so the installation is coming along fine. We're making our final connections inside the gateway, and then we're gonna fire everything up. I do want to complain about something here. I am connecting these jumper lugs because I'm using the internal panel board kit that comes as an option with the gateway. And this is where we're gonna be hooking up the Powerwalls. Each Powerwall takes a 30 amp breaker. Now, I just want to show you that when I go to tighten down the lugs on the panel board kit, it's 1/4 inch size Allen key, and when I do the lugs down here, it is 5/16. So one of my biggest complaints as I've been installing this Tesla system is every component, whether it's the gateway or the Powerwalls, once you open it up and start working with it, there's different size lugs, different size Allen keys, socket adapters, and it's just annoying. There's other systems out there that I've installed where, you know, once you're on a roof or inside of a a device, you use one tool. And so yeah, help out your installers, Tesla, and use the same damn hardware throughout your equipment. That's my biggest complaint, installing your. Okay, well, we are commissioning our Tesla Powerwall system today, and everything checked out smoothly. We are up and running. We have 3 Powerwalls installed. We did use the backup switch for whole home backup on this house, and you'll notice here this is a flexible non-metallic conduit that has communication cables into the gateway, and if it detects a grid outage, this contactor flips open and it becomes a microgrid system, if you want to use that term, and all loads downstream of the transfer switch are backed up. And what that means is everything in the house is backed up. Client likes it because they don't have to pick and choose which loads they want to have backed up, and installers like this product because it made our install a lot easier than it would have been if we had to actually mount a backed up loads panel, use some sort of a gutter box, and move loads. 30 amp breaker for each Powerwall. This is being fed by a 125 amp breaker over here. And then if you look in the backyard, that is where the 3 Powerwalls live. Our client did not want them inside of his garage. We tried to get them in there, but it's just too tight with what he has inside, so that ended up being the next best location. So.